There's two groups of owls. The first one is a typical owl, and they have a round face. And the second one is a barn owl, and they have heart-shaped faces. So this one is a typical owl, and the one behind me is a barn owl. Their feathers are used for insulation. They're also used so that they can fly without sound. And the ring of feathers around their eyes concentrates sound so that it goes to their ears better. Their vision, they have large tube-shaped eyes that are completely immobile. And their retina has rod cells so that they can see in low light, and it helps with their depth perception. Their necks, they can rotate 270 degrees. And I looked up to see how far we can go. We can only go about 90 degrees, so we can't go very far. They have to turn their entire head to see in a different direction. So if an owl is looking this way and wants to look at Sherry, he has to turn completely over this way. Their ears, they have, many of the owls have one ear opening that's up higher than the other one, and this helps with determining the height and the direction that the sound is coming from. They also have a reversible toe that they can move forward or backward, and that helps them get a better grip. And I'm thinking that it's probably the one that's back behind. They also swallow their prey whole or in pieces. They can't digest fur, teeth, bones, or feathers, so they regurgitate them as pellets once a day. So we've talked about how owls are good hunters because of how God has equipped them. So spiritual strength is a divine empowerment and inner fortitude that's derived from a relationship with God. It enables believers to overcome challenges, resist temptation, and fulfill their purpose. So this power comes from God. It's an inner power, and it's an empowerment to resist sin. And this is a product of a relationship with God. We can cultivate this strength by prayer, by relying on God's power, through Bible study, with spending time in God's Word and meditating on His truths, through trust, even when things are difficult or look impossible or confusing, and through fellowship with God, with other people, and by taking steps of courage and of faith. Sherry last Sunday gave us her go-to verse. So I'm going to give you mine. This is the verse I've always turned to when wasn't for sure if I could do what I needed to do. And this is Philippians 4, verse 13. And I learned it the King James Version, so that's the way I'm going to quote it. I can do all things through God who strengthens me. And this one is a different version. It says, I can do everything through Him who gives me strength. Now, this strength doesn't mean where I can go and I can beat up somebody. That's not the strength that it's talking about. This is an inner strength where we can endure and remain faithful to God through any situation. And I also want to give you my mom's favorite verse. This one was on the wall of our house where I was growing up. And it's Isaiah 40, verse 31. But they that wait upon the Lord shall renew their strength. They shall mount up with wings as eagles. They shall run and not be weary, and shall walk and not faint. There's a Hebrew word pronounced kavlah, and this is for wait upon the Lord. And it means to wait, look for, hope, and expect, to collect and bind together. All of these words are action words. So when we're waiting, we're not just sitting and doing nothing. We're actually having to do something. With the binding together, I was reminded of when I got married, because there's a strand of three when a couple gets married. There's God, there's your spouse, and there's yourself. And when there's a strand of three, it's an unbreakable bond. It also talks about eagles and how we shall mount up with wings as eagles. Now, eagles don't have that many enemies, but they do have crows. And crows will get on the back of an eagle and start attacking them. So when an eagle is flying and they find that draft of air that lifts them up, they use that. That crow can't hold on. It can't stand the high heights. It can't breathe well. And so it'll fall off. This is like us. The closer that we get to God, and the more we let him lift us up, the more Satan can't hold on to us and he'll fall off. Waiting for me means a time of God's teaching. It means spiritual growth. And it's also me letting go of me. Like me letting go of my pride and me thinking that I can do this on my own. Because a lot of times I can't. Sometimes the battle's already won for me. All I have to do is show up. Sometimes I know that I have to trust God, but I know that if I do that, God never fails me. Waiting isn't God saying no. Sometimes it's God saying not yet. Sometimes he changes the situation that we're in. Sometimes he changes how I feel about the situation. And sometimes he doesn't change either one. But that's the time that he gives me strength for the next day. And I know that if he's giving me strength for the next day, that it's going to be for my good, and that gives me hope, and it gives me joy. I read something on the internet. I'm going to go ahead and read it to you. It says, before you give up on God's timing, remember this. Noah waited 120 years for the rain that no one believed would come. Abraham waited 25 years for a son he was promised but couldn't see. Joseph waited 14 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit. If God makes you wait, trust him. If he delays your plans, seek him even more. Waiting isn't wasted. It refines you, humbles you, strengthens you, prepares you for what's ahead. God's timing isn't punishment. It's preparation. His plans are always greater than ours. So don't quit, don't rush, don't doubt. If the cross wasn't the end of the story, your waiting isn't either. And the song that I have today is one that we sang in my church. And it's They That Wait Upon the Lord. not to rely on what others do, but to wait in prayer for an answer from you. Teach me, Lord, to wait while hearts are aflame. Let me humble my pride and call on your name. Keep my faith renewed, my eyes on thee. Let me be on this earth what you want me to be.